Hello, this is a review of the Pilot um, Custom 74 fountain pen, which is kind of part of their Namiki line. There's a little confusion as to what's branded as Namiki and what's branded as Pilot. If you go to their website, you'll find the Custom 74, and they don't make this black model anymore. They have a bunch of demonstrators. They're on their Namiki web page, but the clip here and all the branding on the packaging says Pilot. So it's a little confusing. The Namiki is reserved for their Maki lacquer and urushi painting type pens, which are high-end in terms of price pens. So anyway, this is a Pilot. There's no Namiki branding on this, and so I don't know if they consider this a premium pen in their lineup or not, but certainly for $100 or so, it was not a cheap pen. So came in a box, outside box, which has the Pilot logo here, silverish cardboard box, and inside was a plastic box which had the converter, which is a Con 20 converter, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Use and care guide, and a warranty card, which is all in Japanese. It's a warranty registration card, which is all in Japanese, so I have no idea what to do with it, but oh well. It also came with a cartridge that I have not opened up, and if you're familiar with Pilot, their cartridges and converters are slightly different than, not slightly, quite different than the international style. So anyway, nice little plastic box. Actually, this piece in here comes up, and there's like a hidden compartment, but there's really nothing in there. So just to kind of let you know that there is a hidden compartment for all you secretive types. Let's talk about the pen here. It's a black and gold pen, very classic look in terms of the black and gold, and banding here, and sort of dome-shaped cap, and dome-shaped barrel end. Another chrome band here. It is, some people tend to compare all black pens with gold clip and gold trim to a Mont Blanc, especially if these pens are rounded. Yeah, I think that's kind of unfair, because one of the first pens to with this kind of design, the cigar shape, torpedo shape, whatever you want to call it, was the Pelican 100, and before that the cigar shape was the Schaefer Balance. So I don't believe in that. Now, Mont Blanc is the most famous, certainly the most famous cigar shaped pen, but that doesn't mean they have the rights to the shape or whatever. So anyway, we're not gonna really get into that conversation, but the pen, in terms of size, is a longish size, not super long by any means, but it would be at the higher end of my pen collection. It's certainly not the longest, and it's probably, I'm gonna say, at best quarter-inch shorter than the longest, if that. The clip, it's a tapered simple clip with a clip ring that goes into the cap. This is screwed on. I'm not going to try and take it off. Little ball clip here, which makes it very easy to go in and out of your pocket. I'm not particularly fond of this design because it's very old-fashioned. You can see pens from the 1920s that have several pens have this ball clip. Then you have a thin band and a raised convex band on the cap here, and this says Custom 74. I hope you can read a little bit. Custom 74 pilot, made in Japan, with a couple of stars and whatnot. The barrel is pretty cylindrical with some sort of curvature to it and a rounded end with a little band at the bottom here. Screw on cap, screw on, screw off cap. The pen itself, nice proportion. The thickness is not too much. It's a very regular size pen thickness, which is okay. I think this pen would have been really nice if it was a little oversized. And they do make, Pilot does make 742, custom 742, 743, 823, and 825, I believe. And those are all larger pens. This is a number 5 nib, what Pilot calls a number 5 nib, and then they have a slightly bigger nib, which is number 10, and then even bigger, that's number 15, which is in the 823. Number 10 is in the 742 and 743. So you can get the bigger pens, and those I'm gonna be, if you have sort of larger hands or something, those would certainly be much nicer. And in fact, for me, I think they would be nicer too. I don't have particularly large hands, but this is, I'm gonna say, regular size. I think this would work for women as well. It's not particularly large. There is a little band right above the threads here, the cap threads. The barrel unscrews and reveals a chrome threaded sleeve here, and this has a sack type converter, which is the Pilot calls it the Con 20, which I just showed you the box a little earlier. Let's see here, Con 20. This is the worst piece of this pen. I mean, this is extremely poorly crafted, and in fact, just today this came off, and there was ink all over my hands, in the barrel, and all over the place, and it just basically came out in the barrel. This is very loose, and I don't know how to fix it because there's this piece is kind of plastic, so it's not like you can kind of squeeze it or adjust it in any way. If it was metal, maybe you could have done that. And you can see there's like ink leak, and I don't know, this is just, I mean, for $100 pen, I mean, they could have gotten that right at least. So I hate leaky pens, whether they leak from the nib. If they leak from the nib, it's just a disaster, because it's barely usable. But the converter needs to be really tight. So anyway, what I did, until I actually ordered a new converter, which is a plastic Con 70 converter, which is like $12. And what I did for this one is I stuck a bunch of paper in the oh brother, it's leaking here now. Yeah, so leaky ass converter, so this is not fun. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. This is not a good converter. So I put a bunch of paper tissue inside the barrel, so just at least while I'm using it, it doesn't fall out and cause a leak in my pocket or something. Because I really want to use this pen because it's really nice. And one of the reasons why I bought this pen was because of the nib. I actually looked up a YouTube video on how nibs are made, and they showed how this Pilot custom series nib was made, and it's a kind of a decorative nib, 14 karat gold, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I hope you can see just a little bit of the design here, and you can actually do a Google image search on it, and it is just beautiful nib. And it says it has some decoration across the tines, a vent hole, then it says Pilot, then it says 14K-585. 585 is basically 58.5% gold, which is equivalent to 14 carats. And then it says 5 for the number 5 nib. And then in brackets it says FM, which is fine medium. So this is a fine medium nib. The feed is, I believe, an ebonite feed, but it could very well be plastic. It might even be, well, it is generic categories plastic, but it might be a polypropylene. I'm not completely sure what type of plastic it is. Actually, I don't think it's ebonite. I think it's some sort of plastic. Ebonite is hard rubber. So if you go look up that YouTube video about manufacturing of nibs and manufacturing of fountain pens, they show you kind of the capillary action and the kind of research that goes into the feed, the making and design of the feed. The nib and feed are friction fit into the section here. They're not, there's no nib holder, so you can just pull this out with a little wiggling and whatnot. So beautiful, beautiful nib, just lovely, and I think even the larger sizes would be even better. They would just be gorgeous. For $100, a 14 karat gold nib this size, and the quality of writing is absolutely phenomenal. I'm just gonna quickly show you here. So this is Pilot Custom fountain pen, number 74. So writes nice, wet, not too wet, beautiful, beautiful tuning. It's a perfect medium fine. I mean, I cannot believe how well this nib is tuned, and it's just super, super smooth, no problems. No problem starting, stopping, whatever have you, and just writes really, really well. I can do, there's very few pens that you can do that with without getting some skipping and whatnot. I dare you to do it with a Mont Blanc. I bet it'll skip, and I could do the whole page like this with this pen, and I would be alright. So excellent, excellent pen, excellent writing. Just the one thing that really pisses me off is the converter. So hope you enjoyed this review. If you get a chance to buy this pen, remember you're gonna need a different converter, but it's an excellent, excellent pen. Very traditional, classic look and beautiful writing. Hope you enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching.